Neil Druckmann just needs to shut his pie hole. Game Informer posted an article titled "The Lost Legacy's Approach to Gender Diversity and Inclusion." At this point, Naughty Dog has established some really awesome female characters, some really awesome characters in both The Last of Us and Uncharted, and there's really no need to try to sit there and push this agenda. Druckmann basically goes on to say how there's still this myth floating around that if a game has a female character, nobody's going to play it. I think Horizon Zero Dawn blew that out of the water and made people realize that this just flat out isn't the case. Sure, you're going to have those extremists who are going to bitch and complain, but you know what? Don't worry about pleasing them, and don't worry trying to change their mind. Why are you going to even focus on it? When it comes to what gamers want, most gamers, what they're really after is good written characters, a great story, and some amazing gameplay. We don't so much care what a character has swinging between their legs or a lack thereof. It doesn't matter to us. You've clearly established a franchise where people already know and love who Chloe is. She doesn't need any further explanation. Nadine came along in Uncharted 4 and received some very well-received reception from fans, myself included. I really thought she was a pivotal, awesome character because she stepped out of that bad guy norm and more or less just eventually, towards the end, had a code of ethics. I found myself wanting to know more about Nadine. So naturally, when I heard The Lost Legacy was having Chloe, one of my favorite characters in the Uncharted franchise, teaming up with Nadine, I was like, hell yeah, this is awesome. This is something that I wanted. The only people who are spewing this myth that somehow women can't lead their own game is people like you, Neil Druckmann. People like you and your team at Naughty Dog. No one so much cares what culture characters come from as long as they're written good. No, what pisses people off is when you try to include these cultural diversities and try to shoehorn in these all different types of mediums to please everybody. If you do it right and you do it the way it's supposed to be written in a story and make it believable and good, no one is so much going to care. And that's kind of the way that I feel. I mean, he even went off about saying that they were about making Ellie the main character of The Last of Us. That's not a surprise to any of us. If anything, the events of The Last of Us in a way foreshadowed that if there was going to be a sequel, it was going to be Ellie who was the main character. Ellie was another character created by you guys that was received very well. I don't think anybody's going to be too butthurt that Ellie is the main character in The Last of Us. Most people are probably excited they get to explore Ellie as a character in The Last of Us 2. Joel kind of already had his pivotal moment. It's time for Ellie to get hers, and that's probably the best interest in where the story needs to go. You guys are great storytellers. If anybody can write in some great female characters, yes, it's you. But it's a problem with people shoehorning them in to fit an agenda that gamers have a problem with. As long as Joel gets some limelight in The Last of Us Part 2, as long as we kind of get to see what he's up to, what he's doing during this whole shit, I really don't care that we get to play as Ellie. But I do want to hear a little bit about Joel. That's like the only thing I ask. You guys are the very taboo that you talk about somehow adding these inclusions of characters. I think more recently than anything, characters such as Bayonetta and Lara Croft and even Aloy's Horizon Zero Dawn have come along and proved that females can pilot their own game series. I mean, hell, Lara Croft has been doing it since the freaking PlayStation era. The only reason she was overtly became a sex symbol was because people focused too much on her boobs and turned her into what that was today. But long before that, she piloted her own game. Long before that, women have been playing central roles in all forms of media. I mean, hell, we had A Wrinkle in Time, which back then, a lot of people didn't write in a female character. Most of your young adult media nowadays is usually about a female character. Where this whole taboo comes from that somehow, that they can't pilot their own movies and things like that, or can't pilot their own video games because, males are going to have a bird about it. Well, frankly, I don't care. I just ask they're written in the plot very well. You guys haven't disappointed me yet. You guys have always had an amazing cast of characters that I always somehow find myself being sucked into their plot, the story, and wanting to know more about these characters, that I'm going to continue to pick up every game you guys create until you let me down. All this is a way for Naughty Dog to keep their name relevant and show that they're trying to make a big impactful change and sell on the fact of cultural diversity and feminism inside video games, and we're going to be the ones to change that to try to get more sales for the game. That's exactly what it is, a freaking sales tactic and nothing more. Your thoughts, your opinions, leave those down in the comment box below. Let me know what you guys think. Be sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Links down below in the description. Easier to keep up with my content that way. You can also hit subscribe there for me. I upload a video every Friday, and sometimes in between during the week, you guys are watching the Spoony Bard, and most importantly, stay happy, be happy, game happy. The Spoony Bard is checking out.